What if this was real?
Are you a female high school dropout between the ages of 16 and 25? Are you tired of doors being slammed in your face when you apply for a job? Are you tired of lying around in bed all day with nothing to do? Well, you never need get up again, because in 6 short weeks, I can train you to be a high-paying hoe.
Well, in 1954, it kind of was real. This week in 1954, Jet magazine featured this story in its Mr. and Mrs. section. It's not about celebrities or politicians or anyone of significant historical importance. Just plain old everyday civilians like you and I who got themselves involved in some hot mess. Well, maybe they weren't like you and I. I'll read the story and add my commentary, and you can decide if they were like you. Let's get into it. But first, if you like these videos about the most scandalous people from yesteryear who make the hot mess history with Ty Said What Ty Said channel a time capsule for the culture, subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can know every time that I upload one of these videos or every time that I live stream, and comment "I subscribed" in the comment section so that I can say hello to you. Now, on to why you are here. Today's story comes from this issue of Jet magazine dated April 29th, 1954. The article is titled, "White Girl Says Prophet Made Her Prostitute," and it reads, "A handsome 32-year-old bearded prophet charged with hypnotizing teenage girls and making them serve him as shoplifters and prostitutes was arrested in Cleveland and held under $35,000 bond. Emmett Cobb, who wears a red fez and calls himself King Tenelly, was arrested on a tip by a 19-year-old white girl from Swank, Harker Heights, who said Cobb hypnotized her into committing crimes for him. Police arrested from 8 to 10 girls who said they served as thieves and prostitutes in Cobb's crime school. Cobb's estranged white wife declared her husband was the victim of a frame-up because police resented his being married to a white woman. "They hate him because I am white," she snapped. Although they are separated, she said, "I'd go back to him in a minute if he would have me." And that is the end of the story. Let's start with the handsome part. Ladies, are you interested? I do find it particularly interesting that he chose to call himself a king in 1954. I thought that whole king or kang thing was just a modern day delusion. You know, those strong kangs without kingdoms or kingdoms. I guess they had grandfathers who passed down the same delusional behaviors, but no palaces or castles or jewels or silver or gold. From everything that I could see on this guy, who we will now also say is him, because what's the difference? It looks like he mainly got dealt with because of one particular girl he was pimping. The 19-year-old white girl mentioned in this article came from a family with a little bit of money and social standing. He definitely messed with the wrong one in her. And when she started talking, the legal authorities started listening. She is mentioned in other news articles about this false prophet, and I'll share a few of those stories with you in this video. Now, the 19-year-old girl said that Emmett Cobb hypnotized her, and I think that she just might be telling the truth. I believe this because it's clear that he had to have hypnotized his white wife, his estranged white wife, who he left so that he could be with younger prostitutes. And what did she say? The police were just mad at him because he has a white wife and she would go back to her King Tenelly if only he would take her back. Clearly, she was under hypnosis or she was smoking something, and I don't mean turkey. This 1954 article says that 9 women testified against Emmett Cobb, but again, only highlights the 19-year-old from the suburb Harker Heights. And this article sheds some light on the curriculum of the Emmett Cobb School for H0es. The students' classes included, but I'm sure were not limited to, bogus check passing, confidence games, and shoplifting. And this article gives us another one of Emmett Cobb's names. He didn't just stop at King Tonelli, he was also Ahmad L. This article from the following month, May of 1954, has a headline that should come as no surprise. But as a bonus, we do get yet another name for Emmett Cobb. King Tonelli. Ahmad L. It's simply the Prophet. Well, being that he was a prophet, I'm sure that he was able to see this long-ass prison sentence in his future. He was sentenced to 14 to 68 years behind bars. The judge's way of saying you were either going to be locked up for a long time or a really, really, really long time. This judge, Arthur H. Day, was good and tired of this fool. He said he had never heard a more nauseating case in his 22 years on the bench. And I believe him. Look at Emmett Cobb, King Tonelli, Ahmed L. the Prophet. He just looks exhausting, doesn't he? There were 11 counts against him, and he was found guilty of all of them, including assaulting a 15-year-old girl and procuring a harem of prostitutes for his stable. Stable is literally the word that was used. I swear it feels like this guy wrote the handbook for what we call modern-day Dusties in 2022. Check out this May 1954 Chillicothe Gazette misprinted headline that has the correct numerals in the wrong order for his sentence. It was 14 to 68 years, not 18 to 46, but close enough, right? They got it correct in the actual article. This story also disclosed that Emmett Cobb, King Tonelli, Ahmed L. the Prophet professed to be a Muslim. Why would this matter? Because he was able to claim that the court was Christian and grossly prejudiced against him. This article gives us a really good idea of why the judge was so fed up with him. He defended himself. Now, Emmett Cobb, King Tonelli, Ahmed L. the Prophet was a learned man in many a thing, so well that he could teach multiple subjects. I remind you of his H0es school curriculum. But one thing that he did not know was the law. And you know the saying, a man who defends himself has a fool for a client. Someone else went to prison for being a pimp and teaching young girls how to prostitute themselves. But it's no one on whom I have reported. So watch this video that I published about the woman for whom the term gold digger was coined, because it's a really good video and I want you to watch all of my videos. You can see it here, and I will post a link to it in the description box. My sources for this story are Jet Magazine Archives, 1954, The Daily Reporter Archives, 1954, The Daily Times Archives, 1954, and the Chillicothe Gazette Archives, 1954. If you want text notifications so that you can get a text 15 minutes before I release a video or 15 minutes before I live stream, simply send a text to 786-632-2135 to let me know that you want text, and you will get an outgoing text message 15 minutes before I have a new video release. If you have a business, product, service, YouTube channel, or social media account that you would like to promote on my channel, email me at tiwan@tisaidwhattisaid.com to get rates for advertising on my community tab, my live streams, and or my edited videos, just like this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ty Said What Ty Said channel. Please leave a thumbs up and comment so that we can get a discussion going. And share this video on all of your social media, especially your Facebook. That really helps me out a lot. And subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can know when my next video is ready for you. And if you don't like what I'm saying, but you love it, feel free to hit that applaud button just below your video screen there and send me some
donations.
Yeah, baby. See you on the next video.